Alright, flying in and flying through the day here. We got EDG versus T1. This can be the make or break for T1 and the rest of this group here. EDG already pretty much secured themselves out of the groups here. There's pretty much no way that they are not going to get out by first, let alone second seed. So if T1 can actually get their upset here and bring EDG and T1 to a 4-1, we'll only just probably have tiebreakers. We'll possibly only have tiebreakers at the end of the day for just who takes first versus second seed, and that'll depend, and that will decide, or at least show for who's going to end up on what side of the playoffs bracket. But if T1 wins this, that also means that 100 Thieves' chances and hopes, and NA's hopes of getting out of groups with their championship roster will fall apart here. So far, so I'd like to think that there's a bit of favoring for EDG, considering also just watching how they played earlier today. Granted, against it was Detonation Focus Me, but just how clean, the early aggression, the early wards, they just were just great. And so the challenge is going to be really on T1 to match and surpass such a game plan out of EDG. I think we can just dive on into the draft from there. We're just getting so many AD carry bans these days. Irelia, Draven, and Lucian banned on the side of EDG. Graves, Lee Sin, and final ban incoming from T1. Now, I don't think there's too many major clear priorities here. This is going to be a great matchup, though, in the mid lane here. Scout versus Faker. Scout, the former understudy of Faker, years ago under the SKT banner. So there's a lot of sort of history between these mid laners, and a lot of sort of as the student surpassed the master. There's the first pick, Yuumi. So T1, although this was an LCK sort of meta shift, and the Koreans bringing in a new creative idea earlier in the meta, instead of just adapting to the new creative stuff and then optimizing it. So the Yuumi is brought in. Yuumi is first picked by EDG, which could mean a lot of things here. JJ probably more than happy to take the talent like he did earlier today. Yushi's I feel like it's going to be locked in early, along with Faker's Twisted Fate, which was banned out in the last game against 100 Thieves. So this is kind of opening up everything T1 wants to have in this game here. Thresh probably going to be the final lock-in on their side. For now, over on EDG, they probably also want to... They might want to match that? No, they just want to give Flandre his Jace here. They know Kana can play it, but Flandre has been a monstrous top laner over in the LPL. The Jace pick is kind of a quintessential pick in the East these days. It's kind of a night and day experience with Jace compared to the West. And then there is JJ's Talon. So Talon paired up with Yuumi equals a 2-for-1. Cannot stop, won't stop, invisibility, assassination, bleeding you out. It's gonna get scary. And we're gonna have to see what can be done about that. And here comes the Lulu pick for Keria. So trying to actually bolster up Gumayushi or any probably assassin target to limit what JJ can actually get done in this game here. So kind of like the Enchanter pick, just, you know what, forget excessive shields or anything like that. We're just going to make you larger and with a bigger health pool with a bunch of slows around you. So I do like the picks so far, kind of counteracting and reacting to each other. It's Enchanter versus Enchanter bot lane, so they're going to be able to get away with both of these picks without much issue. And let's see. Jhin banned out. I don't even know why. It's such a limiting pick. Like, it feels like a great setup, but you need like major carries and all, you know, in the jungle, top and mid. Alright, so I'm not missing too much here. Kiana banned on the side of EDG. Good little ban out there. Big team fight winning ultimate if you can get that Supreme Display of Talent to knock over several into a wall. And that would probably set up Gumayushi to honestly just wreck them. And then the stun lock as well. So getting rid of sort of that chain CC option from T1. And Silas banned out on the side of T1. So getting rid of Scout's ability to match Faker and, you know, steal the Destiny's Call, and probably even having a better time using it, considering the cooldown on Hijack is lower than Destiny's Call, so he could actually end up using that as often or more often than Faker could. And now come the final logins here, looking for jungler, and top laner on the side of T1. At this point, they know both, so it's not going to be too surprising. Poppy, looking for a flex here. Poppy's been doing really well this tournament. Vizichachi's spirit lives on, and we're going to have to find out here because Owner played the Poppy in the jungle earlier in the first part of the round robin here to some success, and it's going to be a very good defensive pick just to really... Yeah, this whole team's now playing around Gumayusi, regardless of whether or not this Poppy ends up top lane or jungle. And I'd be interested to see how Ken actually faces into Flandre with the Poppy. Earlier, it did not look like it was going to work out too well. And here comes the mid lane pick. Rise still up and available. Still up and available as the machine gun mage. And going to be able to even teleport himself. Not as far, but keep up with the global pressure that Faker will be putting out here. And probably even do a better job matching him in a side lane. And Draven Hover, kind of weird. Probably not happening. We're going to have to roll out to other ventures at this point. Let's see here. I like the Wukong. Wukong a good counter into Jace because of that stone skin, that armor build. But also, oh, here comes the team fighting. Here comes the big CC. Attack or defense, it doesn't matter. This Maelstrom from the cannon will be a very powerful team fight ability. And there's no tanky characters on the side of EDG. Mako going to be the only one to really dodge out that Maelstrom, but that just means whoever he's on is going to be stunned up and will pop out that cat when they're dead. So this is going to be a lot of team fight ability. The Realm power, though, is really on the side of EDG to make a little bit more plays around the map. It's going to be kind of on Carry to see what he can match, and Owner, Kana, and Faker to try to either punish JJ, which is going to be really hard because he can jump walls all day, or even get ahead of any of their plays. So we're locked in for this, and it's going to be great here. EDG, LPL champion against the LCK's #2 in T1. And they're going to start going to get ready on to the Rift. Fist pound for the coaches. And we're right and flying. We are right and flying.
See it on the world stage before we believe it, because the Yumi has just been way too strong every time we've seen it.
It's insane how powerful she is, and with the setups you have here for the side of EDG, you have lanes that you can win every single one of them if you play it well, and you do have, of course, your own global to match the Twisted Fate rotations in. So I mean, there's a lot of ways where EDG just get ahead early, and I think that's where
T1 was #2 in their region. I
was second guessing well. The Twisted Fate, the Kennen, when the Kennen tries to teleport him for a slice of mail, so you run into that Talon, you're going to be blown up, you're going to be dead before you get that flank off.
Here we are onto the Rift for game #3 of the day. If EDG win this, they will be first in the group. No way that T1 can catch up. T1 win, then they will be able to even things out. We could be seeing a tiebreak for that first or second.
Alrighty, nothing too crazy in these starts here, and they should be pretty passive starts and pretty passive early games from these teams, unless something crazy kind of goes awry. The Talon's gonna want to do a full clear twice. He wants to get like all the way to level 6 before he even starts to be concerned with ganks or fighting or anything like that. Owner is going to be of a similar discipline, of a similar idea. So it's going to be a pretty tamed early game here. The only, Kana and Flandre could trade pretty heavily. Faker and Scout could trade heavily. Bot lane, it's going to be pretty back and forth. It's going to be even across the map. Might want to look for who's going to get prio in these lanes early on just to decide who's going to get the first round of Scuttle Crabs. And no wards put down in the alcove. Just a ward put up in the river just to see if anyone's going to be pathing down here for, say, an early gank, which is quite possible. Owner with that charge could put Viper into a wall and really set up for Gumayusi and Keria to knock him down. It looks like initial early prio is going to be on Gumayushi's side, Viper, and Mako just kind of giving that one up. And Keria kind of trading out a lot of health here for not a lot of counter damage. Could really burn a lot of mana out of the Yuumi, but it's going to be free. It's going to be pretty free so far. Top lane, nothing going crazy there. Level 2 is being kept up. EDG's JJ started topside and is going bot, full clear, like I said. Same for Owner with the Poppy. And there's the prio for Gumayushi. Yep, nothing too crazy here happening right now. It's going to really ask the question of what we expect out of this. Should it be a lot of skirmishes in this game? Should be a lot of team fights? And I really actually sort of lean towards it. It's going to be a lot of team fights in this game here. There's a lot of great roaming ability between specifically Talon and the Twisted Fate, but we have a technical game pause here. I'm going to use the talents of living in the future to see how long this game pause is. It doesn't look like it lasts too long. And let's get on back into it. And there goes podcast time. And now, what do we have here? Nothing too special happening. Yeah. But so this could be great here. This is going to be great here, specifically with those two in the mid lane there. Faker during his Demon King times was sort of, you could say, the master or teacher. Scout the understudy for back in the SKT days. And Scout never probably going to get a chance to show himself in LCK over Faker, especially in the same organization. So kind of a part of that Korean exodus way back when, I believe. And now he's brought himself on the legendary EDG roster, Clearlove's child, you could say, main org, and has brought himself to the World Championship and is currently undefeated in their groups with a fantastic scoreline like that. This is pretty much like setting themselves up for so much success and really kind of showing, hey, should have considered me a long time ago. Maybe even rotated me in, like with all the crazy roster rotations you guys were doing. Kana not doing too well here. Oh, it's Shock Blast from Flandre landing pretty well. Good little teleport stall out. And yeah, we're just going to keep rolling with this. Scuttle Crabs traded out. That's just a ward there, bot side. And the Pixel Brush. We should be seeing still, it's all still pretty square and even. T1 actually taking a 400 gold lead. I'm going to see where that's at. 10 CS. 3. Okay, so not too clear. Maybe like a jungle camp up or something like that. Carrier kiting himself away. Well done. So a lot of good little clever trades out here from Gumayushi and Keria. Viper Mako getting pushed off the wave, but it'll be to them soon enough. Dragon spawning in 2-1. Here we are. It's going to be an Infertile to start. So sadly, no explosive souls for us today. Now it looks like Kana's going to be forced to back. Use his teleport. I wonder if Flandre is going to use this chance to crash this wave and then just... Oh. I think he might actually have a Q for this. Nope. Flandre back off. Cheetah recall. He should be able to actually walk this one back. He's probably going to teleport back in, but I would like to see that. Oh, he's got delayed by Kana, so he might be forced to teleport back into lane. Alright, he's going to walk it back here. So saving that teleport for Flandre is going to be pretty good here. Owner making a move. Coming on into the bot side jungle. I don't think... yep, they noticed that. So EDG aware that Flandre, someone is in their jungle. Mako's going to join up with JJ here. Not level 6 just yet. Owner, I think you should have completed your back there, bud. He's going to be able to walk himself out. Prowling projectile is going to at least tag him. And they're going to return bot side here. Owner, sticking around? What are they looking for here? Like, actually can get a separation. This Misfortune's kind of diveable, but they're going to let it go.
And even though this wave is shoved in, there's not enough of a window. T1 don't really want to risk it, try and force off an early objective. So instead, they are going to just continue the pressure.
Yeah, Connor's clearing out topside here. Got to get rid of this blast cone to keep himself safe. And yeah, still super passive on this mid lane. Wish I had someone to talk to.
To continuously try and apply pressure to those plates.
teleport back in from Faker. So yeah, it's looking pretty crazy, pretty great. Right now, Iron Whip complete on the side of JJ. No mythics just yet. Call on the side of Viper, so he's looking to really ramp this one up. Surprised Kamiushi hasn't done the same, considering he is a 3-item. Owner's gonna steal that way, but it's a 3-item Aphelios, so he's kind of letting himself he's got an advantage in the CS department, but I'd still love for that call to be on Kamiushi, just to really like bolster and get him moving super fast on his build. Getting that extra 300-400 gold would probably do a lot of work here. But it looks like the double longsword with the Vampiric Scepter is going to provide plenty of sustainability to win trades in the long term and start netting some turret plates. So can't really say I hate the comp. I hate the idea. And now we have Faker just going to clear out some vision here. Level 6s across the board except for Viper. Yeah, Viper and the supports are the last ones to head in that direction. And another technical pause. Let's see what my time machine will show me. Well, it's a decent sized pause. And let's jump back into it. Would provide commentary on what the pause was about, but not going to be too concerned about that one. Faker trying to get a turret plate here, not going to be able to secure it. JJ coming in to help Scout clear this out, and now here comes the Herald. Are EDG going to fight for this? Priority for Kana, so this should be a pretty easy secure for the side of T1 here. Faker going to have to go over and catch that wave, but this is a great start here for T1. They've been able to match EDG so far. JJ going to at least get some counter jungling in while Owner is spending time their top side. It's going to be 3 top here. Flandre, I think you're going to need to leave here. He's going to actually flash away here. Scared of Carrier turning him into a squirrel or something. And this might set up for like an immediate drop. Yeah, this is what they want here. Gumayushi's actually rotated top side. And there's no one actually bot side yet. Kana a little bit behind the ball here. No teleport to actually keep that up. But this is going to provide for a lot of turret plates to be acquired here. Red-white gun for Gumayushi means he's going... Oh, and green-white gun still going to be able to provide an incredible amount of DPS. There's going to be that. It's going to go over to all 4 of them, which is a little questioning. Viper, meanwhile, is going to be able to secure most of his turret plate gold for himself. There's the second charge. He's going to be able to at least cut this tier 2 in half. And T1 not shying away from it. I think they're going to go for it here. Yeah, Viper's going to have to use that ultimate just to try to actually keep pace here. JJ's arrived here. Flandre looks like he's going to be able to push away T1. And Viper's going to be able to at least get this 3rd turret plate. Might be able to even get more. But he's not going to try it. Faker with the Destiny available could make a move, but no one would be really there to follow him.
Scout moving down, looking to clear out some vision. So EDG are actually very good at denying T1 their herald play that they love to go.
Okay, so about 1.1k gold lead for T1. Still making moves here, making moves across the board. I think that gold lead is probably going to be in Gumayushi's favor. CS has been tied up. Can't really say too much else about that. Maybe at this point the only gold lead significance is just coming from the loaded dice from the Twisted Fate. EDG looking bot side here. Carrier, you're kind of alone here. I don't think you want to really get involved with that. I think JJ's actually scared there's going to be support behind Carrier, so they're going to dodge out and away from that. I wonder if JJ's just waiting to actually get his Gore Trigger before he starts, going in on people, especially like little squishies. Now comes the next contest. Owner's going to start it up. This is what we were looking for. 11 minutes in. Dragon's going to be started. So T1 still in full control here, and that's not the best sign, really. That, at least for EDG, T1 been in control, has been able to secure first turret gold, has been able to secure first herald, and using that herald to get that first turret. There's been no kill exchanges so far. Gumayushi is not behind by any stretch, and that's going to be the main win condition here. Oh, and here comes the jump onto Flandre here. Maelstrom's going to come out here, and there's going to be no chance. First blood for Flandre. Thank you, Faker, for the teleport in and locking that one down. And that's going to be a great start here. Fantastic start. First blood coming in. So T1 making all the right first moves here. We could be looking for an upset in EDG's perfect score to be, well, denied. Now JJ in the jungle looking for a carry. I think you might be in trouble here, bud. They're not going to know. They're not going to fight. They're going to see Viper. And now they're going to see JJ and Mako. Nice clever little tag there with the scanner. And now Kana. Stick around. No one rotated up. They know where JJ is. And that's going to allow Kana just to split push and finish off that turret while Flandre was respawning and making his way back into lane. So great little cross map plays here. Good communication. And can't really find where, like, EDG need to find their way into this one. There's a lot of sort of scaling sort of happening, but it doesn't really mean too much. I know Mako later on in this game on this Yuumi can put out great damage and fantastic heals. He's jumping around, shielding and healing everyone. And great teamfight ultimate, especially paired with Viper. But Flandre has not been able to get an advantage in topside outside of the CS lead. He's got a good 30 CS lead over Kano, who with that kill has probably equalized the gold a bit. But JJ's not gotten anything done here. He's got his Gore Drinker. Still waiting on his brown boots to get converted. He's got the magical ones this time, so he didn't have to pay for them. And Owner has not really had to do much either in terms of jungle. And looks like Carry's going to get caught out here. Oh, and that's going to be it. Bullet Time's going to come through, but he's going to be able to actually wild growth himself and make it out with 100 health. And that's perfectly fine here. No Summer Spell having to be spent. There's not even a neutral objective for EDG to take after that play. Like, you know, Viper and Mako could try to bully Gumayusi, maybe try to get themselves one last turret plate here in this next minute and 20. But there's just not too much else really to be done or be said. Scout looking for a play to just lock down Kana, but that's going to go... It's not going to happen. Kana's not biting. He's backing and buying and moving. So EDG really behind the ball, really kind of getting directed around here by T1. They're trying to find a way into this one, but they've just not been able to really get much done, unfortunately. And if you look at it, actually, the saddest part for EDG is that they have no reliable engage outside of like a flash EW from Scout, like for a root. There is the, you know, last chapter from Mako, which could be a pretty good engage if JJ's like flying in there or something like that. But there is no engage. There's no pick fight options on the side of EDG. It's a lot of, you know, going to be really good at fighting and putting out damage, but not very good at locking down a member of the T1 cast to really get anything, you know, decided on. And there's going to be the denial of the Q. JJ, a little chunked out here. He's still got the heals and zoomies and prowling projectiles. Ooh, good shock blast. Good little combo there. On to carry. Here comes Faker. And he's just going to secure out that little bit of banana. That banana brush area. Old League of Legends players will know what I'm talking about here. Viper about to jump on to Gumayusi using that Gale Force. Trying to get the trade off. But not too much to worry about for Gumayusi. Second Herald up and alive. Good bit of damage there onto Viper. Ultimate's up and available. EDG posturing like they're either like they want to do something, but I don't think they're gonna get anything done here. Shock blast on the carry is gonna hurt a lot. A little bit of zoning, and here comes the last chapter here. Gonna go gold on the side of Faker, and he's gonna get shock blasted. This turret might go down here. EDG has put out a lot into this, but no one's really died just yet. Gumayushi's still standing, and he's got his guns, and here comes Kana here. He's also going to get the kill onto Flandre. They're going to jump back in onto Kana, but he's not going down here. JJ jumps in to just die, and so does Mako. And T1 just stand their ground and dare EDG to come at them. EDG comes and dies forward here. 3 dead inside of EDG. T1 in the driver's seat here. 2K gold lead is running through for them, and this turret and the next turret are probably going to be theirs as well, with the Herald backing them up. This is going to be a huge swing in the gold lead here. This could be their 3rd turret to just 1, and there's no other really counter plays coming in from EDG at this time. This is even going to get another charge off here, I think. Oh, just short of it. Just short. So, does save that inhibitor tower. Don't need that chunked in half waiting for trouble to happen. Yeah, but Faker goes golden. He hits his stopwatch the moment the bullet time hits, so it doesn't really get a lot done. The damage from the paralyzing projectile on JJ is about the only other damage after that. Owner secures the knock up and the putting Flandre into the wall. And then it's just a turn and burn. Their Kana arrives here, helps blow him up, and it's a clean fight from T1. No one dies. No one's died on their side yet at all. So EDG looking a little lacking here. Maybe not being too serious competitive here, considering they have secured their way into the group stage, and they may not be too picky about who they are fighting against. So I feel like I want to zoom in right now onto this JJ Mako combo, because they should be roaming around and getting kills onto people here. And it looks like they're finally trying to do that. And that's the good damage. That's the damage that we're talking about that we want to see. It's just that we're 17 minutes in the game here, and this Talon doesn't have a kill yet. Owner's going to secure the second Drake, so this time spent topside is kind of for a waste. He might be able to get like some jungle camps, but there's going to be another turret here for T1, and this seems weird. Like, these rotations and these lane assignments from EDG are very lacking here. Someone should have been here. Scout should have been able to at least defend this, but I guess they were just aware for just the vision control that's happening. Like, there's no vision in the spot side jungle here. EDG couldn't have contested that turret if they wanted to, and now it's just Scout. Here comes the rest of EDG to try to stop it. They're half a second from jumping on the Scout here, but oh boy, that's not going to be good here. Carry's going to get caught out. Oh, there's going to be I believe that's the white gun. Yeah, Gumayusi ready to fight here. Don't need that heal. Don't need a red, Severum, Moonlight Vigil. Give me my chakrams, and I'm gonna just shred through whatever steps near me. Alright, 5 turrets in the favor of T1 right now. The only one left is that bot one they were about to work on. But the death of Keria does prevent them from getting there. And right then, that was right when Scout was about to jump on it. And then they Gale Force forward, gets the root off from Scout, and that's going to be a dead carry. And at that point, it's time for T1 to exit stage right.
It didn't actually have an impact at all, because it was just the one kill. But it was funny. Still, good disengage there.
Oh, they want to fight. They want to fight here. Faker's going to flash out immediately. Gets the stun onto Viper, but he's going to cleanse out of that as well. Shock Blast is going to go wide, but now Faker running forward. He's going to get the slow onto JJ and to Scout here, but they're trying to chase down Flandre. Oh, he's going to get him on the tail end, and there comes the gold card to lock him up further, and that's going to be another dead Flandre. He's got good Shock Blast, but he's also very easily collapsed upon. No escapes for the man. Flash was down at the time. They're tracking that quite well. Now Faker going to run forward here. He's going to actually get the damage onto JJ. JJ in his shroud, invisible, not able to be seen here, but it looks like we're about to have a much swifter version of a T1 match here. It's going to be able to run forward. Owner going to put Scout into the water. Scout's going to get so low here. He's going to try to run away, but Owner with the Wild Growth is going to be able to actually run on in. Scout's going to be able to get away. He's going to have to back outside of his base. T1 running the table here, taking over the situation, and now they're looking towards Baron, but they're really low here. I think they want to get towards it, maybe clear out the vision, secure that the vision is not there, and then leave because they are so low. Yeah, they're not going to go for the Baron. Good idea. I don't care if Gumayusi has the right guns for it. You guys are way too low to even run that gamble.
You're not walking into a bullet time, you're not walking into Yumiel, you actually get away with it.
You have so much CC as T1 on single targets like this that, yes, the Yumi healing is...
Alright, so T1, they're in the driver's seat here. 4K gold lead, 2 Drakes up in their pocket. Mountain Drake's going to be the name of the game here, so a little bit of thickness, a little bit of shielding coming out for T1. And that's more than happy. The harder Gumayusi is to kill, the better, because from here on out, it is of my opinion that Carrier should be spending his Wild Growth solely on Gumayusi. It's just that I think also that EDG's combo and comp is much more burst reliant and, pick and assassinate the right target than it is continual team fighting. Because Viper's auto attack game is not going to be anything compared to Gumayusi's. JJ about to get caught out here, and I don't think he's going to have a prayer even in the Shroud. He's going to die here. Viper's going to Gale Force away from that madness. Mako makes it out barely alive, and now we get the rotation off here. That's going to be a dead jungler. That is going to be a free Baron for T1. I think EDG do want to try to secure this one, but bullet time is down, and so is Last Witch. It's just going to be the teleport, the Realm Warp available for Scout, so they're just going to have to try to poke this one out. Flandre up and alive for once. Here comes the flank from Faker. Gold card up, and there's going to be Flandre again. And the Maelstrom from Kana is just wreaking havoc on Scout. And Maker going to try to run for the Exhaust. Is going to try to get something in. He's going to step back in and going to be able to Realm Warp away to the other side of the mid lane. And it's just looking like curtains here for EDG here. They're not going to be able to get their perfect score here. Lagging behind their probably main rival in this tournament in Damwon. And T1 looking strong, getting it together here. This team has been together for all year in a way, but not with full force, not with full commitment to each other as a 5-man roster. They had the 10-man roster, 12-man roster, whatever, going around for a while. It's kind of weird. Teddy, Gumayushi, rotating in and out, which was quite a good question to have. And look, they barely expend anything. Like, it's just the Moonlight Vigil from the Aphelios, and now all these other team fight ultimates are available, specifically Kana, and they just find Flandre, collapse onto him, and Kana just goes golden. He's got his stopwatch, he's got the wild growth, so he's not going down. He's going to be able to get the full damage out. So fantastic engages, fantastic team play, and just map play from T1 here. 5,000 gold lead in their pocket, expanding to 6,000 soon enough. JJ, you can go golden all you want, but you're going to get chased down here. He's going to be able to jump 2 walls. Trying to slow them up here with his rake, and he's going to make it out, but had to burn the flash for that as well. So the hyper mobility for EDG with this talent, it's nice. It helps JJ survive, but the early game, like the post 6, level 6, that should have led to like JJ making some dives. Like if you think about it, there was actually no turret dives in this game. It was a super passive first 15 minutes. And it wasn't until we basically got to like second Herald that the situation started blowing up. At that point, T1 had like first Herald, first Brick. They'd gotten the first Dragon. And EDG just had not done much of anything. They'd farmed. They'd stayed even on those numbers. Maybe a slight advantage on the side of Flandre. But EDG, without much of a serious game plan here, because it's a good comp. There's a lot of good little wombo combo opportunities. You get that lockdown from Mako onto someone, the root from Scout, the shock blast, the bullet time. Like, you could find yourself with a 1-2 man advantage in a fight pretty quickly with EDG's comp. It's just not coming. It just never came to fruition. They never really picked the right fights for it. All right, let's look at any item disparities here. 2.5 for the AD carries, 2.5 for the mid laners, 1 and 2/3 for the junglers, 2, 3. So full 3 versus 2.5 for the top laners. So Kana 5-0 and 5-0-2 right now. The storm has been on the side of T1 so far. Lightning striking more than once in the same place. Gumayushi needs to heal up a little bit. When now comes the siege, the Baron siege. It's going to be the second inhibitor going down here, and Khan is actually going to teleport ahead, just flashes ahead of the last chapter, and so Mako's ultimate just goes wide. They were going to try to actually get in on him, but it's not going to work out here. T1 Faker about to teleport in. And this is going to be it here. Scout is down. Flandre is down as well. 2 main carries here. No bullet time for Viper. He's going to try to auto-attack his way into this, but Owner has little concern for any of that. JJ is going to go in here, but I don't think he's going to be able to get much going. He's going to get blown up by Gumayushi. Gumayushi barely even need to step up in this game, but ready and willing. And that's going to be T1 at this point securing their spot in groups, I think, here. And I believe EDG a little sad about that turnout here, but I think the rest of the group, the other half of the group with 100 Thieves and NH evokes me. Tears at the turn of events here today. Now I just want to give a quick review of where the standings are, because at this point that's going to put EDG at 4-1, and that is going to put T1 at 4-1 as well. So right now, just looking to see who's going to finish out the day. Might have to have a tiebreaker between the two of them to see who can make it out. But yeah, 100 Thieves' chances have fallen away right now. There are just not enough games in the day. They can get their second win against DFM. DFM could even upset T1, but I put them 4-2, and then 100 Thieves need to upset DBG, and even then, it's just not going to happen. So sadly, for this North American roster, their chances of getting out of groups has fallen away. DFM, sadly, had a great performance, but we got to see more from them later on here. Next game coming up is going to be 100 Thieves versus Detonation Focus Me, kind of a fight for the bottom, but hopefully we actually get ourselves a little bit of fun here.